Salutations, my name is Summer, and this is Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats, and this is Rollo. It's like, leave me alone. If it seems like I'm higher, I am sitting on a box of bookshelves I need to put together. And I don't know if Sylvie will let me do this, because she's not friendly sometimes, but this is my Sylvie baby. Anyway, yeah, I have stacks of books everywhere. I want to do a book haul. One of these was a gift. Two of these were from Book Depository. Two of them were from a publisher's in Kentucky. And I forgot to clean out that litter box. And Rollo just went in it. I'll take care of it afterwards. What was I saying? Yeah, but the rest of these came from Goodwill or a thrift store. Oh my gosh, you have to see this girl, if you can see her. What are you doing, Syl? What are you doing? Crazy. I know she's much more entertaining. And here comes Rollo, so she's going to be hissing at him because she doesn't like anybody but Randall. I still have this big stack of books. Once I get this shelf put together, I will be working on that so it will be more organized. And I need to figure out how I'm going to even organize my books. How do you guys do it? I've decided, like, I have a shelf that's just Stephen King, and I love that. I love to be able to just go there and know that's his shelf. But I also have a Tabitha King in it and his sons, Owen and Joe Hill. So I like having that. I like being able to go to that. But then I thought about classics, like keeping all my classics together, keeping all like my religious texts together. I don't know. Too many books, not enough space. We'll see how it works out. But let me get started. So the first book I wanted to show you, I now do not see. Oh, here, here it is. Deanna over at Patch of the Reader was so sweet to send me King Lear, and it's a No Fear Shakespeare, because I was talking to her and we were talking about how I had such a hard time with Shakespeare last September for Shakestube or Shakestimber or guys, however you want to call it. Oh, Rollo. So he's causing issue. There's Mayfair, but it's Sylvie. It's Sylvie who doesn't like him. Okay, thank you so much, Deanna, for sending this to me. Shakespeare is on one side, plain English is on the other side. So I'm hoping to get to this in September and give Shakespeare another try, since there's so many of you out there who feel like he's worth reading. Okay, so the two books I got from Book Depository, one of them is Escape from the Antarctic by Ernest Shackleton. I have quite a bit of his books in this stack, and I'll tell you why once I get to one of the books. But I love these editions. Wow. I mean, they're great journey editions, and they are just, I don't know if my lighting's doing them justice, but they're beautiful. And I thought, oh, someday I'd like to have all of them, until I was like reading what some of them were about, and it's like, would I ever read that? And I don't want to have books I wouldn't read. And some of the subject matter was like, I don't think so. Okay, the other book I got from Book Depository is The Planet Factory by Elizabeth Tasker. And I saw this book on BookTube. Let me see. Kim at Expedition Through Space. I'll link her channel down below. She has the X Book Club, and she has a co-host, and I'm sorry, but I don't remember her name. I want to say Hannah, but that's probably wrong. Anyway, they're doing this, reading this. I think they're saying February through April, so I still have time to read this. So, and it's beautiful. It's another, you probably can't see, like there's a million, it's supposed to look like stars. Okay, so the two books I got from a different publishing company, and this is the Jessie Stewart Foundation. Sorry, I haven't opened them up yet. These are both by Alan Eckerd. The Wilderness Empire is book 2, and The Conquerors are book 3. I just read The Frontiersman, which I will talk about in my next video. So, and I don't know where these quite follow through in history, but I'll let you know when I read them. Okay, 2 books that I'm really excited about that I plan to read in, and I showed these on Instagram a couple weeks ago. I plan to read in June because Angie over at Literary Labors has something special happening in June that hopefully it all works out and I'll be co-hosting, which I've never done before, but first time for everything. But one of them is A Month in the Country by J.L. Carr. This sounds gorgeous. Anything, yeah, it's, I'm not going to talk about it. But the other one, you guys might have seen Grantchester, the BBC miniseries, or maybe there's a couple seasons. I'm not for sure. Anyway, this is the first book in the Grantchester series, and Sydney Chambers is the main character. This is The Shadow of Death, and I've always, by James Runcie. I've always wanted to read these, so I'm excited about that for June, and you'll find out when, I'll link Angie's channel down below, and you'll find out whenever she decides that, I mean, we have plenty of time. So, okay, so the first Ernest Shackleton, how I heard about Ernest Shackleton is from this book, The White Darkness by David Grann. This book I listened to on audiobook. Absolutely loved it. The writing was gorgeous. The story broke my heart. You know, this is like nonfiction. I saw this on Carrie's channel, Very Literary Carrie, and I will link her channel down below because she's always better at, she's always, you know, eloquent, and she, you know, she's great at talking about books where I'm just like, blah, 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 that makes no sense at all. Anyway, from this book, well, I heard about this book through Carrie. Through this book, I found out about Ernest Shackleton. How I had never heard about him, I do not know. So I bought that gorgeous, you know, Escape from the Antarctic. I also got South, The Endurance Expedition. I also got, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize I'm shaking the thing. The Heart of the Antarctic. And this is The Farthest South Expedition, 1907 through 1909. And the back, you can see how tiny they are up there. I mean, I'm fascinated by people who can do those types of things because I love getting out and hiking and, you know, seeing beautiful sights. But when it comes to going someplace and it's life or death, I'm kind of like, I am not that brave, especially when it comes to cold. I'm like always cold. It's a beautiful day and I would still probably have my sweater if I went outside. Okay, so the last one I got was called South. And you know what? I kind of feel like some of these books might be about the same thing and they just look different. And since I never read what they're clearly about, I could have bought doubles. Once I read them, I might find that out. Anyway, yeah, I love that cover also. So yeah, this year, probably it'll be closer to winter. I'll be slipping some of these onto my TBR. Okay, some more books. Okay, so one that it was Goodwill, so I got it really cheap, or I got it at a thrift. I'm not for sure. But anyway, I got The Hemmings of Monticello, An American Family by Annette Gordon Reed. And this is a Pulitzer Prize winner, which I don't care about awards because the Booker, I don't think I've found even one that I like that's been on the Booker, but anyway. I'm always irritated about anything about when they talk about Thomas Jefferson and having a romance because I feel like she never had any say. I also think it's like really weird that it was his wife's half-sister. I mean, that kind of, but that happened all the time. I actually have a great-grandfather who married, like after his wife died, who was my great-grandmother, he went and he married her sister. And oh my gosh, that's a crazy story. So my great-grandpa was married to my great-grandma. Mabel, and they had 8 children, and one of them died young. And then when she died, he married her sister Roxanne, who already had 7 children, and then they had 7 more children together. Madness. So I understand that happened, but I get irritated that people act like she had a choice. She had no choice. She was a slave. She was not free to say, and women most of the time weren't free to say who they were going to marry to begin with. But especially being a black woman and being a slave, you had no say in anything. Of course, you're going to try to make your master happy because he has control over your children, keeping them there or selling them away. So this is, anytime I read anything or see anything, it kind of disgusts me when they act like it's a romance. And I'm not saying that it couldn't have had some romance in it, I guess, but it would be no different than somebody kidnapping somebody and then them having some kind of relationship because of how things work in your mind. Anyway, I got this. We'll see. We'll see whenever I get to it. I don't know. I've never read Eric Larson, but I got The Devil in the White City, and I don't know what it's about, but I've heard a lot of people rave about him. So we'll see. And I like that it's, going to have a lot of history in it. Growing up, I was a huge Judy Blume. I almost said Junie B. Jones, which is my niece was crazy about her. Anyway, Judy Blume. And I don't ever remember reading starring Sally J. Friedman as herself. I kind of remember Sally being the bratty one when it came to fudge and super fudge, but you can't really see this in this lighting. But I thought, we have middle grade March going on, and I never read middle grade really. And if it's really good, I'll pass it on to my niece. Okay, because of Jason at Old Blues Chapter and Verse, I'm thinking, because I found these at a thrift store, so if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter, and I may end up really liking this author. Anyway, but I'm pretty sure I heard about these books on his channel. And everybody I mentioned, I'll link down below. Henning Mankell, I'm pretty sure he said that this is one of his favorites. Maybe not, but this is The White Lioness, The Fifth Woman, and Firewall. So I don't know. I haven't looked. Like I said, they were at a thrift store, so I haven't looked to see if any of these are the first in the series. But I saw them all sitting there, and I was like, wow, I've never even seen this author before. Never even had heard about him until I watched Jason's video, which hopefully this is the right author and I wasn't just, my head. Okay, so I picked these 2 up. They were 50 cents each, but Scott Danielson, I'll link his channel down below. He's been talking a lot about Star Wars. I think and he did his 20 favorite video. I'm pretty sure he had some Star Wars on there too. And I can't really remember because right now I'm just loving all the books that he has been sharing on Instagram. So anyway, I got 2 Star Wars books. I have no idea about any of them. One's Inception by S.D. Perry and Britta Dennison, and the other one is Cyber Song, S.N. Lewitt. I have no idea, but I'm wanting to get into reading some Star Trek. Okay. I saw this book on the shelf, and I thought, and when you're talking about 50 cents, I thought, okay, I've read Middlemarch. I started to read Silas Marner. I have a small copy, and I didn't DNF it. I set it aside, and I'll read it at another time. So, yeah, I didn't finish it. But usually when I say DNF, I mean I don't ever plan to read that book again. So I set it aside. But the reason why I bought it is it has Amos Barton, which I've never heard of. So I thought, oh, well, Okay, so I have some Stephen King here. How many years has it been? I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago when I got divorced. I lost all my hardback Stephen Kings. The things I'm just like, whatever. Take it. I don't care. But I'm trying to get my collection back because I got all the paperbacks. But there are some hardbacks that I did love, and there are some paperbacks that, I didn't have. So one of those is Full Dark, No Stars. These are all Stephen King. I have not read this yet. So actually, most of his collections I haven't read, but I've read A Good Marriage. So he usually has 4, but he has 5 in this. Oh no, he has 6 in this collection. 1922. I don't know. Okay, I also got Just After Sunset, and I haven't read this either. Orange is my favorite color. And I gotta tell you, I know these long books are not the best when it comes to reading, but there's something about the way that they look that I love. So I don't know. Don't know why I like that, since they're not the best at reading. Okay, so from this, I've read The Gingerbread Girl and Stationary Bike. And that's it. So I don't know why. I've read from somewhere. I've read some of those short stories, but I haven't read the whole collection. One that I read when I was a teenager that I must have got it from the library, but The Eyes of the Dragon by Stephen King. And I remember loving this. This was like heavy fantasy. And I just remember someone hiding behind a painting, and I think they were hiding through the eye. Maybe it was a dragon that was hung up or something, and they were spying. I'm not for sure. I know there's one other person on BookTube that likes the book or the movie book cover books. I know I'm not the only one. And it's not that I like all of them, but I do. I mean, Johnny Depp, he is a beautiful man. So why wouldn't I want, him on it? The same with Drew Barrymore. She's beautiful. She's a beautiful girl. Why wouldn't I want this? And the thing is about Firestarter, the movie's okay. It's very dated, and it's okay. The book Firestarter is so wonderful. And the last Stephen King I got, because this brought back so many memories, because this is the edition I read first. So I wanted it back in hardcover. Dolores Claiborne. I almost said by Stephen King. Okay, it's getting smaller, guys. Last week, the week before, I tried to listen to Slaughterhouse Five by Kurt Vonnegut, and I realized that this is a book that I can't listen to. Like I've explained before, I don't know why. Some books, I can't retain anything if I listen to it. Other books I can listen to, and I'm there, and I'm taking everything in. That's the way audio is with me. So yeah, I was really happy because I had decided I can't listen. I was halfway through listening to it, and I was like, I don't even know what this is about. And I know that if I was to read it, I would. So I'm really happy I found it at a thrift store. I got Jane Austen in Boca, and this is by Paula Morantz Cohen. I have no idea what it's about, but it says Jane Austen, so I don't know what this is about, but I liked it. Point Your Face at This. Drawings by Dimitri Martin. So I have no idea, but I bought it because this is a cover by. I mean, I thought it was cute, so I have no idea. I don't know if it's nonfiction. I don't know anything about it, guys, but I'll let you know whenever I read it. I picked this up because I read this when I was a teenager, and I did not like it. I felt like, who is he to do a heavy set talk like he's a heavy set woman? Is because I was growing up my whole life I was always heavy, always big, and so I don't know, I guess at that age I was just like, I don't know, I felt like he didn't get the feel of what it was like to be an overweight female and how you're treated and stuff like that. So I did not like it as a teenager, but my brain is very different and my understanding and experiences are very different now than how they were then. So, and I love, my favorite, like, all-time book is by Wally Lamb, and that's This Much I Know Is True. Or I Know This Much Is True. I always say it wrong. I think it's I Know This Much Is True. So I want to reread this because as an adult, I may see it totally different. I listened to this on audio last year, the year before, and it's Squirrel Seeks Chickmunk with one new story. And this is David Sedaris, which I know this is the only thing I've ever read of his. And I really enjoyed it. I felt like it was so sad. There was so many underlying messages in this book, So I thought if I read it, I'll see how I feel about it. Listening to it, I really enjoyed it. And the last thing I picked up was Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. Yes, I already have this book, but when it's a favorite, I think it's really good to pick up at, thrift stores or whatever. I think it's, and I mean, I love that picture of John Steinbeck at the back. But anyway, this is a special edition anyway. Yeah. So I wanted to have 2 editions, or 2 copies of that edition. Anyway, I think that's it, guys. That is my book haul. Everyone I mentioned, I will link down below. Please let me know if you have any. Here's Randall. Let me know if you have any thoughts or comments about any of these books. I am not sure when I will get to any of them because that stack right there is already April of what I'm thinking about, what I would like to read in April. I love it. I love it. I want to read everything right now. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you are enjoying. I hope wherever you're at, it's beautiful like it is here in Ohio. And I hope you're having a great day. Bye.